What's up everybody? How's it going? Welcome to another video, and big surprise, I was back out at the Cape Fear River bike trail a couple of days ago. Got some more footage and had to share. A friend of mine showed me this place about a week ago, and I've just been there constantly.
Morning.
And it's so nice, and while it is technically called a bikeway, you see signs that say bikeway this and that. The most awesome thing about the trail is you can pretty much do whatever, within reason, of course. I've seen lots of bicyclists, of course, but I saw some people on longboards. I've seen some electric skateboards, little kids on razor scooters, people pushing strollers, old people, young people, joggers, dog walkers. I saw some chicks on some rollerblades, and even saw a kid on like a three-wheel drift scooter thing, which was awesome. And everybody seems to just be getting along and having a good time, enjoying the scene. And who can blame them? I definitely recommend this place if you're ever in the area. And this is where I switched to the 360 camera. It's a little shaky. I tried using a handlebar mount, but I don't recommend that because the camera just about shook itself off. I could tell by looking at the camera it was just shaking and rattling all over the place. And yes, this is a little bit shaky because I was trying to hand hold the camera and hold the handlebars at the same time, but some of it was usable. Now we're back to the GoPro Hero 7 footage, and you can't argue that this looks pretty good. Do I want something better? Yeah, maybe. But this is not too bad. So this is obviously a great trail. There's more parking now apparently than there used to be. I don't know what's going on here. It almost looks like there's two different trails. It's almost like the 4-lane highway of bike trails, but I'm not complaining because the more bike trail the better. And yeah, if you're thinking about getting out, just do it. It's so beautiful. I know a lot of people are upset that the gyms are not available right now, but I think there's just so much benefit to getting out. Here we go, off the beaten path a little, as they say, and this part is for a friend of mine who asked me to show some more of the mountain bike trail, if you want to call it that. And I think you could probably get away with riding just about whatever in here, within reason, of course. There's no motorized vehicles, but like I said, I've seen a good bit of stuff. There was somebody here on an electric bike, and it was one of the smaller ones, but dude looked like he was having a great time. I was on the Ecotric, it's called the Fat Tire Snow and Gravel electric bike, and it's funny because I kept sort of reassuring myself that I'm the camera guy. I gotta have a little assistance here because I'm videoing all this. But the truth of it is, if I had been on a regular bike, I would not have kept up with my buddy at all. You can see that he got ahead of me here, and that's because we stopped. We saw a turtle on the trail, put him off in the woods, and well, I had to get an Instagram story of it. So my buddy didn't seem to realize that, but whatever, he took off, hauled ass. And here I am playing catch up, which ultimately wasn't too hard. I swear this looked so much faster though. Watching the footage, it just does not look all that intense. I was going, I would say, medium speed. I definitely wasn't going flat out, partly because I didn't want to crash into a tree, but I didn't want to, wreck the bike either. There's lots of zigzags in here, and so that's one thing. If you're riding with somebody and they get a little ahead of you, you might see them 50 feet away from you, and you think, well, I'll just cut through this little brush right here and catch up to my buddy. But it may not be that easy because, as you can see, there's lots of zigzags, lots of turns back and forth, and that's awesome. I wouldn't want it to be just one straight long trail. Sure, you could get up to speed and everything with that, but there went my buddy on the left. For a second, I thought about trying to cut over that little creek bed and catch up to him, but even though that wasn't much of a cut through the brush, I learned my lesson before. I jumped across one time when there was about 50 feet of brush, and I've been in the woods quite a lot. You know, I grew up in the South, lived out in the country, and I could find my way around this if I wanted to, but you can see as you're riding, you're constantly going around little trees, and once in a while a tree will get right in your path where you just go, really, tree? But at the same time, like I said, I wouldn't want it to be a straight path. It'd just be kind of boring that way. Well, so I cut through some brush before, got on the trail, but my buddies, there were two of them at the time, they dipped right out and I couldn't even see them anymore. So you can't really focus on the trail and dodge these trees very well and look out in front of you at the same time. So the good thing is the trail loops around. So if you're on the trail at any point and you're just trying to figure out where the heck to go, just follow the trail. You'll get back out to the main bike path eventually. And you can actually kind of see it. I don't know if it's really that obvious now, but sometimes in the footage I have here, you can see that there's people riding by and you can kind of see the main trail again. You can see that a lot of this trail is maintained. Anytime logs fall across the path, somebody comes along and cuts the trees up. Here's my buddy again. I'm starting to catch up to him now, and I really wanted it, so I started pushing a little harder. You can see the trail's pretty well worn, and here's a nice little hump. There's places where people put gravel down. I think somebody carried that gravel in there somehow, maybe with a wheelbarrow or something. There's little mountain bike bridges, which it's not like you couldn't get through the little ditches with your mountain bike if you really wanted to, but it's pretty cool. Nice little berm right there, I like that. It's pretty cool having the little bridges to go over. It just makes the ride a little bit more of a challenge. And yeah, lots of fun. I can't say enough good things about this trail. If I knew the trail better, I would push harder, and I think it would just be more fun the more you did it and the faster you got at it. So I did actually crash into a tree at one point, and it wasn't too bad. I just kind of scuffed my shoulder up a little bit. But it's funny because I was going pretty slow. Thankfully, if I had been going any faster and hit this tree the way I did, it just would not have felt good at all. So here we're going back out to the main path, and one thing to note is that for the rest of the video it might look like the trail is really crowded, and that's just not the case. Like I'm not sure if I said this before, but I had so much footage. I think I had about an hour and a half of footage, and the hardest part of making this video was knowing what to cut out. Well, I cut out a lot of the long, straight, and honestly some of the more high-speed parts, but I wanted to show more of how many people go out to this trail, and not just how many in terms of lots of people. It's not super busy, but there's such a wide variety. There's just everything you can imagine out here, and that's the most awesome part about it. I'm so glad this isn't another one of those trails where this is restricted or that's restricted. You know, you don't dare come here on whatever because some asshole ranger is gonna chase you away and say it's not allowed. If you're one of those people, please just get the fuck over yourself, because the last thing we need is more restrictions on outdoor recreation. People need to be able to get out there and get some exercise. So, I hope you have something like this near you. I didn't even know this was this close to my house. It's about a 20-30 minute drive from my house. So worth it, so nice, so much fun. And yeah, what else can I say? It's freaking awesome. Spread the awesomeness. Remember to respect the wildlife. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. feel free to hit me up if you're ever in the area and want to ride this trail. It's so good. I liked it a lot. Have fun, everybody. Be good to each other. Peace.